Right, we're back. Thanks for watching. We're going into game number 4 currently, and the score is 2-1 in the favor of the Terran Archon. But spawning here in the bottom right, it's going to be the red Archon team, Incontrol and Huck.
The top left as the blue Terran, it's Bunny and Chanman.
I love Violet's tweet, by the way. I know we're not casting Violet currently, and you mentioned they were 2-0 in the other series, but Violet says, keep winning Archon with Stefano. Power overwhelming. Twitch.tv/StarCraft, come to watch. He's getting into it, man. Violet's really getting into it.
He was pretty into it for the Red Bull thing, wasn't he?
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, because we saw him at first at the WCS Finals, if you recall. Yep. Him and Masa, I believe, were playing.
Exactly. They were pretty into it. They ended up winning against Huck and Scarlet, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah. Huck, that one game, just kind of gets up and walks away. We see that annoying pylon come down once again, but it quickly gets dealt with. Bit of a non-issue.
Yeah, once again, if they're going for an adept rush into the main, it's like, hey, thanks for opening it up, but just mild annoyance. Is it worth the 75 minerals? 25 minerals, rather? I don't know.
If it costs 75 to cancel a pylon, hell no, Zombie Grub. Hell no. That's a good question. I don't know if you know. So I don't know what the appeal to what they're doing is, right? Like, if it is the idea of trying to open up the doors, sure. But there's actually been no 2-gate adept openers in this whole series out of Incontrol and Huck so far. So I'm not sure what the end game with it is, or goal, or however you want to phrase it.
Well, they haven't tried disruptors yet either. I mean, the High Templars, again, are useful because they can stop those drops, which weren't done in the first 2 games, but were in the 3rd game. And the High Templars weren't even there to help out, which it was like, I feel like it was one of their main jobs. Maybe going for disruptors would change up the game at the very least. Obviously, if Terran gets into any type of momentum, the Protoss has a tough time dealing with it. And maybe that would depend on the Warp Prism buying time. Or getting maybe lucky hits with Storm to really win. Well, and with that in mind, I actually would give this game to Terran too.
Ooh, the classic Huck Mothership Core not quite going to get into the main there. We actually have the Reaper running around a little bit rampant on the other side of the map. Nice block though to lock it in place. Whoever's on the home field micro team, congratulations on that move.
It looks to be almost exact same build they've been doing every game. Forge, Twilight Council, Robo, eventually they get the Adept upgrade, but I think only after they get a Templar Archives. So they're doing it. So they'll get a 3rd base soon as well, and have that big increase in Warp Gate production after that. But they know they have time, basically until Medivacs are out, which this Mothership is no doubt trying to check. They can do whatever they want, really. With the Posted Overcharge working like it does, Marine pushes aren't even useful anymore. There's no point to them. Stalkers really don't have to do this, but it's a little bit of extra damage.
Yeah, and I guess early game when there's no Medivacs, this can be quite nice, but as long as you don't lose anything by doing it. I mean, if one Stalker dies for it, then all of a sudden it's really not worth it. I'm really having a hard time adjusting these new pylons. I don't really have a problem with it. It's just, it looks more like they got spray painted with something and it's kind of rubbing off.
Yeah, I don't like it. You said you don't have a problem. I kind of do. So besides throwing me off because we're not used to it, I just think it looks kind of cheap. It's like they're no longer crystals. They're like play crystals, like the pylon I have at home. Isn't that real?
The USB chargers in game.
Yeah, exactly. It's a cool idea, I guess.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay, so I did not connect these dots, and maybe I am just the slowest man in the universe. But pylons power everything around them instead of the USB charger pylon.
I think you might be one of the slowest.
That's so cool.
I thought you were freaking out over the design where 2 of the things are red and 2 of them are blue, but then you bring up the USB charger.
No, sorry. I just connected those dots. Like I guess you could technically make any sort of USB charger.
That's why they didn't use a gateway charger. Oh, it makes sense.
The gateway, oh my god, can you imagine if there's like an add-on to the USB charger made it charge like faster because you put the gateway next to it?
Dude, imagine if you just had like a daisy chain, which I don't advise. Daisy chains are very dangerous and you should not use them. But yeah, daisy chain of like gateway and a pylon, the gateway and a pylon with Stargate.
Oh, man. All right, well, the Observer gets sniped here in the middle of the map. So unfortunately, this can be a lot of vision stripped away for Incontrol and Hawk. They are once again at a supply deficit. Now, this doesn't always mean a bad thing for Protoss. You got to keep in mind, Protoss' supply is usually actually like I'd say a good like 5 or 10 at any given time higher than normal, if not even a size 15, just because you got those instant warp-ins. But early game, not as problematic as late game. 97 supply versus 27 is a lot different than 52 versus 30. And right now, Incontrol and Hawk can certainly fight with Blink and other cool things.
Yeah. Well, the other problem was that you would look at an army that is a very small army objectively, but it would have a Colossus. Or, well, yeah, basically a Colossus, let's be honest. Heart of the Swarm didn't really differentiate early game PvT. But anyways, it would have a Colossus. So you always had to take that into account. And that's why like this lower army supply was never that scary, as you had a lot of splash. Legacy of the Void, their early and mid game is not dependent on splash. It is dependent on some pretty big warp-ins. Now this is going to cost them a lot. This is a perfect wraparound from the Terran. Oh god, everything's gonna die. It does pick off, what is it, the Liberator?
Yeah, the Liberator going down was actually a really nice catch for them, but worth it? No, not at all. That's the majority of their army, but most importantly, their map presence.
It is their army, it is their microble army as well. Adepts really don't get much else besides kind of trying to attack the army. I mean, maybe the phase will like help in one moment or another, but Blink Stalkers are really where they can showcase their micro. And of course, chasing's not the right word. Backing off from the Terran army, you know, those occasional medevac snipes, marauder snipes are very important to happen in the middle of the map. And with only 4 Stalkers now, okay, they get a Marine, but it's a lot harder to do that.
Congratulations, by the way, to Diocletian Zerg. Just won. He's a subscriber to the channel, so I'm really happy with this guy. Just won the Razer Mouse random raffle giveaway. So what we have left here is the headset, and that'll be all the Razer gear. We've already given out all the Legacy of the Void keys we have, but we got more probe plushies, pylon USB chargers, etc. And we'll be trying to give out before the stream's done. 3 Liberators at a time, though. The advanced ballistics upgrade on the way, going to give them that +4 range they used to have. I just want to stress that like, when Puck has Tempests in play, he's quite good at the position game. Or the positional game. Or Huck, thank you, sorry. The positional game when it comes to using or fighting against those Liberators. But that doesn't seem to be the case here. A lot of this is emphasis on Storms, Blink Stalkers, and maybe, question mark, this is better at dealing with them. But not that we've seen this composition deal well with them is the problem. And wow, did you just murder a cat? What just happened?
Baby's just laughed. Sorry. So there's a huge supply problem right now, where Storm can only help out so much, but the splits have been pretty decent from, I'm guessing, Bunny when it comes down to those splits, maybe Chanman for everything else. But they don't seem to really need Ghosts. It was really about that War Prism in that second game that won them the game, and the War Prism's going to try and do the same amount of damage, but it's a 40-50 supply difference. I don't see this going in favor of the Protoss.
No, Storms, I mean, Storms can always be good, can be good, but that's the problem. I think it's going to be really hard to have Bunny and Chanman mess this up. I'm being told, by the way, the... Ooh, nice Storms on the other side of the map. I take that back. That was great. That was some good SCV kills, but they still got to stop the army from killing them back at home. That's where the real problem is. High
Templars, though. I mean, part of the problem with the War Prism is not only potential to do damage and actually doing damage, but it's also, you know, diverting the focus most of the time. It is Archon mode, though. So the focus can kind of go in 2 different places, 2 different people, and the High Templars die, and there's still a huge Terran army left over.
That Liberator picked off so many of the Templars sitting in the back behind the army. There's a few amount of Zealots on the other side of the field, but even if they were to kill all the SCVs, they still have to deal with this army, and at the end of the day, that's the biggest problem. Incontrol and Hawk just don't have an army to take this on, and Bunny and Chanman are looking fan-freaking-tastic. More feedback's coming down, and Archon gets merged here on the front lines, but not many Stalkers left. Zealot's going to charge in. If these medevacs were completely gone and these Marines were a little more overstimmed, this might not be too bad, but dwindling on supply, barely holding on with what they have, and it's not even going to be enough.
Yeah, below 50 supply, even though these units look so targetable, and it's like, oh my god, if I only had like 2 Storms, they'd all be dead. That wouldn't be enough. GG!
Congratulations to Liquid Bunny and Chanman. They're going to head over to the finals, guys, where, if I had to guess, they're probably going to fight against Violet and Stefano.
Probably.
A little bit sad to see Team Incontrol and Huck go down. I believe there is 4th place prize money in this tournament, though, if I'm not mistaken. 3rd and 4th place.
I think so.
Let me go check that. So we got a couple more giveaways to do, but you guys might be like, but Rifkin, you guys said you can't cast the final, so how are you going to do more giveaways? Well, like I said, we managed to grab the replays of Violet and Stefano versus Trump and Massa. We're going to go cast those next, and again, full transparency, guys, it's going to be replays because we are technically done casting, but I thought, man, you got players like Trump coming back from Hearthstone. No one's covering these games. I love watching Violet and Stefano. Why the hell not? So I'm going to go get those loaded up and sorted. We're going to get another giveaway going while I do that, and we're going to go to a small commercial break. So if you want to watch the rest of the tournament live, if you want to see the finals, you'll have to go to twitch.tv/StarCraft to check that out. We are going to cast one more series in a best of 3, and then we'll be